25% of all people in the digital tech world are here this week. Hard to believe in Cologne, but true. 26,000 attendees. All the large digital ad tech companies, plus all the startups that are disrupting all the large ones. And Vivaki and Publicis Group, along with SMG, have taken a position here the last 3 years, starting with Maurice Levy, who came and gave a keynote. So it was time for me to come. This is my first one. And after seeing it, I'm going to be here every year. So I think, video and content, in all honesty, those are global businesses and global phenomenon and growth sectors in this business totally that are going to be played out in different ways in Europe and in the US. I think in the US you've got the big online video players, the big content players, we all know who they are. What I like about Europe is that you've got the same video players playing in Europe, but you've got a host of other small country endemic companies that are actually doing some interesting stuff, interactivity, social, first screen, earned media plays that I really like. So what we advise clients is we advise clients not to think about European theater or the US theater or the Asian theater in the digital social content space in silos. We say, look, it's all content everywhere. Let's go pick the best providers of video, of social, of search, of mobile, and then pick the right global ones and then pick the right local country companies in order to fill that plan out. So we're not thinking about it siloed, we're thinking about it global, and then how do you do it locally in the best way?
So when we talk about localization, because Europe isn't a country, right? What does that mean for content and when being real time and always present for a brand? What are challenges that exist here maybe in Europe that we don't have in the States?
Well, I think the first challenge is in a strange way is scale. What can be done in Germany and the UK is far different than what can be done in some of the smaller countries around Europe. So I'd love to see a bit more cooperation and collaboration, media owner to media owner, country to country, in order to get bigger plays, bigger reach, and bigger engagement platforms for big brands to take part in. When you're Coca-Cola everywhere. It takes a lot of time, and actually it's very inefficient to keep having to go market by market by market in a marketplace that really is naturally digital, naturally regional, and liquid and linked. So I think that would be the first thing, a little bit more scale. The second thing would be a little bit more collaboration. The third thing I think is a bit of a mindset, which is I'd like to see more cross-Asian, cross-North American collaboration. I think there's some very interesting incubation and innovation going on in Europe, but it tends to stay in Europe. Whereas I think Asia and North America to some extent are a little bit, either maybe they're just a little bit better at marketing or a little bit better at creating audiences that fluidly go from market to market or region to region. So I'd like to see a bit more breaking out of the silo, breaking out of the shell.
So to sort of latch on your global, local comment, you guys have a roster of pretty incredible global brands who you're retained globally for. Given, those top sort of 5 clients that come to mind, what would you tell them? They have a global purview. Where would you tell them to focus their energy in regards to video and content over the next sort of 12 to 24 months?
Well, first of all, it's all video. So stop thinking channels, start thinking audiences. And when you think audiences, you have to think about it's all video, first screen, second screen, third screen. And we've been telling our clients this for a long, long time because we actually stopped using the word TV buying or TV planning, and we moved to video planning and buying as a language in our agency more than 5 years ago. So it's all video. Second thing that we're telling them is if you care about social and you care about getting your message out in video form, then you have to have content that is liquid and linked. Content that goes beyond just a 30-second ad, content that can follow consumers in their decision-making journey, in their path to purchase, content that can jump from first screen to second screen to third screen. In the same way that Mark Zuckerberg has taken Facebook and said, I'm going to think about Facebook from the mobile screen out. The third thing we're telling our clients is you have to think about mobile when it comes to content, because mobile is increasingly becoming, especially for millennials, increasingly becoming the go-to screen. It's their first screen. And ad messaging and paid media doesn't necessarily translate to the small mobile screen the way it does to first and second. And so when you start thinking about mobile, and mobile that is, or content that is driven, especially for the mobile screen, all of a sudden the possibilities become much more interesting. It's about downloading videos, it's about games, it's about participation, it's about in-mobile tweets. And that's one of the reasons why we've done the Twitter deal. That's why we're going to be one of the best partners with Facebook in terms of what they're doing with their brand stories, both display as well as when they move to video, because we really think mobile is going to be the channel of content, all forms beyond just the typical 30-second paid ad.